stuff. As promised, let's check in with our good friend Captain Ray Markham. Phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352. Definitely want to get Ray's take on our habitat, because that's my new concern, Ray, is that we are missing some grass, buddy. How are you, buddy? Talk to me.
Good morning, Dylan.
Good morning.
I thought you might have been in the stealth mode a little bit earlier. I didn't hear you on there.
No. That Central Time in Alabama this last week at the Gulf Council meeting got me this morning. So
yeah,
that was my bad. I'm glad I made it.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, I thought maybe you were howling at the moon last night or something.
I haven't done that in years, thankfully.
Oh man, Mike, you got a point. I mean, a big point. About a week or 2 weeks ago, somewhere in there, I got an email from, and I can't recall whether it was Tampa Bay Estuary Program or one of the, programs that we have out here. They're, concerned with the environmental stuff that's going on. And here was their take. Overall, we are increasing in grass again. Now, I don't know where they're measuring it, but they took samples from, they took samples all around the bay. The upper Tampa Bay area, old Tampa Bay, is basically dead, if you want to call it that, of seagrass. There's just nothing up there. They have some fish up there, but, it's just really weird. When I grew up back in the 50s, 60s, you could hardly move up there. There was so much turtle grass and eelgrass and stuff.
Right.
And that habitat's just shot to, Weeden Island was another great place with that. But it's mediocre at very best. There's certain areas of the bay that seem to be doing better. And I think it's areas that are closest to the mouths of the rivers that we have coming in and out of the bay. It's still unfortunate that every time it seems to rain, somebody in one of the municipalities wants to flush their toilet right out into the bay, which I think is still having issues.
There's 110,000 gallons of reclaimed water leaked just 2 days ago in our area, but it was reclaimed water, thankfully, so not sewage. But
right. Well,
that
you
stuff
don't have any
happens all the
floaters
time
at that point.
Yeah. If you go on that,
mullet.
if you go on that Tampa Bay Waterkeepers website and go to resources and kind of dig down in there, you can sign up for those pollution notices. And I had the bright idea of signing Mike and I's email up for that.
We know.
Yeah.
We know.
I figured, this would be cool. Dude, we got emails.
Here we go.
6 emails a day.
It's crazy.
It was nuts how many pollution events happened.
Trust me, I get over 1,000 a day.
Yeah.
So, I'm sitting here looking at about 25,000 I haven't read this week yet. So,
right.
Yeah. But anyway, as far as the rest of the bay, honestly, I never had that much issue on the lower Tampa Bay area when I was living on the other side over there. And some of the best fishing I've ever had in my life has been down there, aside from, the area up around Crystal River, Homosassa, and there. But, when you go up there, if you go scalping in the summertime, I only got to worry about whether or not my Yamaha is going to overheat from being choked out with grass.
Right.
And it's a phenomenal habitat, but you got basically pure water coming out of there from all those springs, and the water's crystal clear.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember in the 50s and 60s when it was like that before they dredged and filled here. And anywhere in Tampa Bay, you could see the bottom. I don't care if it's 30 feet deep, 50 feet deep, or 3 feet deep. And it's just changed. Bogosiega Bay is another hurting rascal there.
Yeah.
That used to be exactly the same way. And turtle grass everywhere. We used to go to the clam bar and just wade off there with a wash tub, and you could fill a wash tub with clams in probably less than an hour.
That's crazy.
And, anymore, they don't even allow you to do it.
I'm up against the clock here. Real quick, Ray, what are your thoughts on, who do we need to tap on the shoulder about this? We got about 35 seconds or so.
Okay, first off, we need to stop building. absolute moratorium on building. They keep putting more and more cement down and more building, more cars, more trucks, more, water coming off of the streets that's polluted and into the storm drains that goes directly into the bay. That's the first step, in my opinion. Then we need to fix the infrastructure, and that should take care of a lot of it.
Love it. Ray Markham, you're the best, bro. We appreciate you chiming in. I knew you were calling me with a parachute because you knew I was solo. I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Ray.
I get it, man. I've been there, done that.
Yes, you have. I appreciate you, my brother.
Have a good one.
All right, pal. Talk soon. Captain Ray Markham, a very, very established and quality charter captain here on the Bay. If you're looking to learn how to throw artificials especially, he is really, really, really good at it. So phone lines are open here. Again, we're back at full strength. Phone number 1-800-969-9352. We'll be back.
From the local Lexus dealer.
You got to find something a little more.
Absolute moratorium on building, it would be tough. But what I was going to add to it.
I think that would fix it, but I just don't think we'll ever get it.
We were out of time, but what I was going to add to that is an absolute moratorium on building for like a year or something, and let the legislature. We need a good growth plan, something that has a smart growth plan.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you're going to build something, you also need to build the infrastructure around it. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, we got big news from the council meeting, y'all. Definitely. Someone made a fresh pot of coffee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, whoever that was. God bless them.
God bless them.
Morning, LaShonda. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Gary. Morning, Travis. Yeah, Travis, I agree. Travis Thompson said an absolute moratorium on building just is not going to happen.
No, it's not realistic.
He said, make the elected folks see and care about the value of seagrass, habitat, and fisheries, and leverage our collected voices and ensure our issues are addressed. And that can only happen by people being informed, showing up, and staying engaged. Yeah, what I mentioned to Mike Travis on break was I was going to say it's hard to have a total moratorium on building, but maybe you could negotiate some sort of like slowing or pause so that way you could develop a smart growth plan. I think there needs to be a better approach to, hey, because in order to build, you have to implement a plan development or some sort of development, and municipalities need to take a better approach to, all right, if you're going to do this building thing, what are you going to do to mitigate, right? And there needs to be more emphasis on mitigating. All right, you're putting in 100 new toilets. Well, you got to help the infrastructure around that, the sewage, the water treatment.
Well, they need to fix. We've had some issues in Hillsborough County where the builders were supposed to do the infrastructure. Well, they let the builders get in there and start building first, and then they go bankrupt.
Yeah.
So they never have to put the infrastructure in.
Yeah.
And the taxpayers get stuck footing the bill on the ass end after it's already too late. The house is already in. That shit can't be that way. You guys got to be smarter than that. You put the roads in, then you can develop the land.
Yeah. Morning, Captain Bucky Goldman, Jack Edgar, Scott Schickler from Cincinnati. That's awesome.
Welcome back. 6:35 here at the iHeart Media Empire, the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. OCC Roadhouse Week.
Tuesday.
It's on us.
It's gonna be fun.
Tuesday, April 15th, tax day as well. Listen, you're gonna need a break.
Yep.
You're gonna want to talk fishing. You're gonna want to have like a killer cheeseburger, maybe some chicken wings, ice cold beer.
And you're gonna want to watch me poke the bear live in person. It's gonna be fun.
I can't be baited.
We'll see. Come to find out.
We'll see.
I've got a lot of ammo, man. I've been sitting in a council meeting for 4 days in Alabama, dog.
I know you do. OCC Roadhouse this Tuesday. Come on out and join us, 7 to 9 p.m. Dylan and I are both going to be there. We're going to be talking fishing, answering your questions. We're going to have bull bay rods, Ingle coolers, real animal swag, Hubbard swag, all kinds of goodies to give away as well. 10575 49th Street North there in Clearwater. When I looked at the address, I know Dylan hates addresses, but I looked at it when he was absent this morning, and I find it interesting that it's a Clearwater address. And when I say Clearwater, I don't want it to scare people away from thinking they can make it. They're only, in talking with Keith Overton, they're literally 10 to 11 minutes from Tampa International Airport.
Yeah, I live in Seminole. It's only about 15 minutes from my house, only about 25 minutes from Hubbard's Marina. It's really centrally located. If you're in Pinellas, it is no longer than 30, 40 minutes away.
Even in Hillsborough, it's not going to be a bad run. It's, and that's why the 7 to 9 o'clock, I love the timing of it. Gives everybody some time to get home, still make it out there. Again, this destination, I think, is going to be fantastic for us. Keith Overton, my good friend out there, longtime friend, is a great guy. Really looking forward to having some fun here.
And I don't think we've talked about it yet on air, that we're planning to do this every third Tuesday.
Yes, every third Tuesday we are going to try to rock and roll these things, and then hopefully we'll get a date from Bartow Ford, and we'll add some Bartow Fords in as well, so that we're kind of hitting that other side of Hillsborough County and Polk County as well. So
yeah, buddy,
we're trying to get them rocking and rolling for you guys. Hopefully you'll come on out and join us on Tuesday night. Again, OCC Roadhouse, Tuesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Come on out and see us. Cannot wait. Lots of stuff going on here. Lots of stuff to talk about. The habitat, me stirring the pot a little early there. I think that's a topic we need to keep grinding. I want to get into some of this grouper stuff that Dylan's got on the plate as well. Let's take a quick phone call, and then we'll talk a little grouper fishing. Maybe we'll take 2 phone calls and then some grouper fishing. Let's check in with the beautiful Florida Keys, Capt. Mike Perry. Michael, how are you?
Hey guys, good morning.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? I'm pretty angry.
A little late this morning, hey Dylan?
Yeah, a little late, but let's forget about that. Let's pretend that didn't happen,
buddy.
But I'm pretty upset, man. I was supposed to come down and visit you early June. The council meeting was supposed to happen down in Key West, and the family was planning on going. I was pumped to have a working vacation in Key West, and unfortunately, the Gulf Council has not received funding, and they're scared they're not going to receive funding.
Really?
So they're kind of shuffling. So the June Golf Council meeting in person was canceled, and they took that. Go ahead, Mike.
For you and your family, I would have made the run exception and come picked you up in Key West and given you a little bit of.
Don't make it worse.
A little bit of what we do, so I would have added that in for you. So if it ends up happening, you let me know.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, they canceled the in-person component, so the June council meeting is going to be in Tampa, and they're trying to decide if they're going to do it virtual only or if they're going to do it hybrid, where they let some people show up, and if they do it hybrid, then the public can show up. And so it'll be interesting. A little easier to travel to their offices in Tampa.
Staycation.
It's only 18 minutes from the house, which is a little easier.
Family staycation.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of things real quick on the habitat in Tampa Bay, and I've fished it enough and still do, when I'm back up there. One thing I noticed, and this is just a personal observation, and you guys know I've spoken about it. I love to wade fish still today. I'll climb out of the boat and sneak up on an area. I used to get for years, I would complain about it after a day of wading. You'd get ankle rash from the seagrass. It would tear you up. And the longer you were in the water, that meant your fishing was good. And now I notice, during the summertime in the areas that I wade, and I'm pretty much stuck to a few areas, I got to tell you something. I don't get it nowhere near as much. I used to tell people, don't worry about the grass. If you're wading in the grass, we're just kind of shuffle your feet. It's wading over the sand. You got to really shuffle your feet for the rays. People go with me the first time or second time, friends of mine. But I used to get it really bad above my wading boots, and now I notice it ain't there. And that's just a telltale sign that the habitat isn't there. And I explain to people that I take offshore down here, if the habitat's great inshore, that means our fishing is going to be great offshore, because all our fish, especially in the Keys, go inshore. All the small groupers and snappers, that's their nursery around those mangrove islands and those grass patches. And even the guys that are inshore, my neighbor who I've known for years down here is an inshore captain, tarpon, bonefish, permit. He says that there's been some habitat loss, not like up in the Tampa Bay region, but definitely there's been some down here. And we have, much better water flow back and forth, Atlantic to Gulf to Atlantic. So
it's a topic. It's a topic we got to grind.
Something has to be done.
Yeah, it's a topic we need to grind on for sure. Got to grind on it, brother.
The fishing's been great. I won't keep you too long. It's been great. The offshore, the blackfin tuna and the wahoo are definitely here. We're starting to see some mahi. We're getting a few a trip right now, and it will only get better as the heat goes up a little bit. But this is the time to get the big mahi on the early run, and then towards the end of the late run. So the fishing's been fantastic right now. So Come on down to the Keys before the weather gets to the point where you really have to worry about heat problems.
Good stuff, Michael. Catch them up down there. We appreciate you checking in, brother. Great input.
All right, guys. Have a great day. God bless, and tight lines.
See you, buddy.
Appreciate you, Cap. Good stuff right there. I'll bet you this guy's got a opinion on the habitat. He's been fishing here for a while on the west coast of Florida. The great Captain Van Hubbard joins us.
I'm not going to ever guess anymore because I'm always wrong.
Captain Van Hubbard, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, guys. How about yourselves?
Doing well, buddy. How are you?
We're good. What's your thought on the habitat, my friend?
It sucks. Our
Tell us how you really feel.
Harbor and Lemon Bay is bad. If it wasn't bad from one thing, the hurricanes made it even worse.
I bet.
I'm not going to be able to make it up there to your deal because our joint meetings for Charlotte and Lee County commissioners is the 15th at 2 o'clock, and I can't be two places at one. Y'all might be able to live stream or something. I don't know. We'd sure appreciate it. If you can, we'd love to check it out. But we definitely have habitat problems. We're lost a lot of seagrass. I understand we can't stop growth and development, but the lack of infrastructure, the lack of advanced wastewater treatment. I don't want to go into detail on how piss poor our water treatment is. They basically remove the lumps, I'll call them, since we're on the air, and the paper, and that's about it. All the pharmaceuticals, all that stuff goes right straight through there and right into the water. We've got pharmaceuticals showing up in fish tissue that we're eating and stuff. We're killing the goose that laid the golden egg, brothers.
I agree.
Man.
No doubt. No doubt. That's pretty well said. No doubt.
Other than that, it's great to be here. Tarpon will be picking up any time. They're migratory, so they don't stay in the area all the time. Our local fishing is bait fish. There's no bait fish, no white bait on the north side of Charlotte Harbor. Everybody's having to run all the way down to Pine Island Sound to catch minnows.
Yeah, I heard you guys were having some bait issues.
It's everything's getting weirder and weirder.
Never ends, buddy. Never ends. Always a challenge. I try to tell these young kids that are dying to become charter captains. I'm like, ooh, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Think it through.
I'm trying to educate these people that are think they're in the middle of their career right now that they better have an opt-out game plan, because between rules and regulations, and we need to talk about that with Dylan there and find out what happened with the grouper stuff and everything. Looking forward to hearing that. But the bottom line is the way things are going one way and another, you better have an exit plan and something else, or you better have a trust fund, because it ain't going to happen.
I agree. Oh, no doubt about it. Great call as always, Van. We appreciate you, brother. Well done.
Love you guys. Have a good show, and try to live stream that, or you do what you can. Thanks, guys. Bye.
You bet.
See you, buddy.
We hadn't thought about the live stream yet, I don't think. Just popped.
It always depends on what the setup is and what their Wi-Fi is. So we'll have to figure that out this first run, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out for sure. Also, don't want to give you guys an excuse not to come. I know how.
I'll just watch it from home.
Yeah, we'll just watch it from home.
Then they can't win any of the Old Bay rods or Engel coolers. It's just not the same.
Yeah, you got to come hang with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not enough to just hear us. We want you to come see us. So
Yes,
talk
sir.
to me a little bit. We got a little time here before we roll into the next break.
Yeah, we have a bunch of in-depth updates coming on our YouTube channel from this Golf Council meeting. One should be dropping pretty soon, and we got a bunch more over the weekend, plus Sunday night we're going to dive deep. But just quick overview on what happened this past week at the council meeting. There was some really good news. I kind of came into the council meeting with three main agenda topics. I wanted to make sure the lane snapper rule went final. I wanted to try to save our red grouper season in 2025, and I wanted to continue working on removing that 20-fathom closure. And I'm pretty sure I got all three done. The 20-fathom closure removal is not going to happen in time for 2026. So it's going to happen again in 2026. But I'm feeling pretty confident, 95% sure it won't happen again after 2026, which is huge. And then as far as red grouper goes, I've been talking about it for months, that red grouper is supposed to close end of May, early June sometime. But they just completed a stock assessment showing that red grouper is super healthy. Everything we've been saying and been thinking, the science has proven it to be true. And that stock assessment just completed, and it has a terminal year of data of 2022. So that means it's 2025, and we're still managing on this old stock assessment, which had a terminal year of like 2018, 19. So let's update that science and let's move forward. And they're talking about, they made a motion to move forward with an emergency rule to lengthen red grouper season in 2025. So depending on timing, we could potentially not see a closure of red grouper this year. And that quota is going to go from what it is now to almost 8 million pounds. And right now it's about 3.8, 3.9. So essentially that quota is going to double. So if we were supposed to get 5.5, 6 months, we could potentially in 2025 see almost a year-round red grouper fishery, which is huge.
And if the stock assessments are correct and we're not beating the fishery up at the 3 million.
Yeah.
So we should be good.
Yeah, the stock assessment, basically in 2025, our red grouper season could potentially be 12 months. There might still be a closure if they don't get the timing done right. So it could potentially close like late May, early June, mid-June, late June, and then maybe close for a few weeks until that emergency rule's in place and maybe it reopens. But long story short, we are going to see much longer of a red grouper season this year than expected. The problem is, the catch is, an emergency rule, it can only be in place for a year. So they have to immediately start work on a red grouper document to permanently raise that quota. And they are going to start that in June. Hopefully they get that done quickly, and that would hopefully be in place for 2026 and beyond. So we're going to go from 5-6 months of red grouper to almost 12 months. And in that red grouper document that's going to permanently increase the quota is going to be the option to remove that 20-fathom closure. So I'm pretty pumped, and that's the positive news. And we got the lane snapper rule final, too. It won't be in place in time, so probably there is a chance there's going to be another lane snapper closure this year. But once this rule is in place, it should lower fishing mortality by like 25-30% and hopefully prevent closures moving forward. So that's positive news. There's some not so positive news on jacks and gags, and we'll get into that a little bit more on the other side.
Okay.
I went with the good news first.
Listen, I give you my hat's off to you. The slow grind that it takes to get this stuff accomplished.
Oh, dude,
your patience.
I was pulling a Mike Anderson.
Is incredible.
During final council on Thursday, a bunch of people were texting me like, "Hey, are you okay?" Like they were scared.
Really?
They were scared because I was looking real angry.
I'm so proud.
Because they were supposed to move forward with that 20,000 closure at this meeting, but they kind of glazed over it. I was ready to throw some chairs.
I'm so proud of that.
I was worked up.
Like a proud papa.
My buddy had to kind of hold me back.
I love it. Beautiful. My day is red.
Yeah, I was full Mike Anderson. They took away my pens.
Phone lines are open 1-800-969-9352. We'll be back.
The iHeartRadio app.
When all else fails, throw a chair.
Yeah, during public comment, 13 people got up to the podium and supported removing that 20-fathom closure. No one opposed it. So, overwhelming support to remove the 20-fathom closure. They get to full council, and they glaze right over it. They didn't even talk about it. I was like, what the hell, man? Like, why did I come all the way here if you guys are just going to ignore everything everybody said the whole meeting? And luckily, the staff stopped them and was like, hey, guys, we have to do something with this. And they decided to throw it in that red grouper document, which will come up in June, and it's supposed to be in place sometime in 2026. It probably won't be in place in time to stop the 20-fathom closure in 2026. It could be, but I doubt it will be. But hopefully 2027 and beyond.
So what does that actually mean when you say that? so
the 20-fathom closure means in February and March, you can't keep shallow water grouper beyond 20 fathoms or 120 feet.
You can't keep them.
Beyond, so there's an imaginary line in the Gulf that's like 35, 40 miles out. And if you're beyond that line, you can't have red grouper or scamp grouper on the boat. If you're inside that line, you can. And it only applies to recreational fishermen. So it's inequitable. It doesn't apply to commercial. And on top of that, most private recreational fishermen either don't know about it or just don't care. Because how are you going to enforce that? Because I can be beyond the line. We can travel in our party boat past the line into the closed area and fish for snapper. And I can come back across the line and catch red grouper. So everybody's allowed past the line. It's so hard to enforce. I was talking to the Coast Guard guy about it, and he was like, yeah, this is almost impossible to enforce. It's an imaginary line.
The other thing, too, is aren't you doing, if you're making a 20-fathom closure
It was originally put in place in 2001 to protect gag grouper spawn.
Okay.
Gag grouper haven't been open in February and March for how many years now?
But if you can still fish it,
I'm still able to kill them.
But then your discard rate has to go through the roof too, right?
God darn it.
Right. I mean,
Mike figured that out in 42 seconds. And that's what I've been saying at the podium for 6 years.
100%.
Get rid of this because you're forcing me to fish in an area where I have to discard more fish.
100%.
Let me go past the line and lower my discards. It's so beautiful. You just picked that up in like 30 seconds.
It's a no-brainer. I'm like, dude, I got to release all them fish?
Huh.
The
inshore guy figured that out in 30 seconds, and these people on the council can't grasp that.
That can't be good for your discard rate.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
And I had one of the Golf Council staff members come out fishing with me this year during the closure. And you have to catch 15 to 18-inch red grouper to get one keeper. So I'm discarding hundreds of small red grouper. Let me go deeper and let me get away from that. And it's really rough to be fishing inside that line and watch other people go past it and watch longliners long line these red grouper 2 miles west of us where I can't fish. Luckily, the commercial guys were supportive and stood behind us and agreed that it needs to go away.
That's good.
Yeah.
Shingle, metal, tile, flat roof, it doesn't matter. Nobody does it better than Affordable Roofing Systems. Replacements, repairs, whatever you got. Over 3 decades of roofing experience. Let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. Listen, get this stuff done now. You know, in the blink of an eye, we're going to be back in hurricane season. We're going to have high winds. We're going to have storms. We're going to have something. Good Lord willing, it won't be what we've had the last several years, but we're going to have some storms. You don't want your roof to be a worry. Call our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems today at 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Let's go to the phones here real quick. Phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Let's go to Andy in Tampa. Andy, you're on the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. What's up?
Captain Mike, I want to target king mackerel in the Skyway area this morning. I know the Gulf is going to be a bit rough. How would you go about doing that?
I would troll that shipping channel between Egmont and the bridge. There's a lot of bait. And I'll tell you, anybody that knows anything about kingfish tournaments in the last 25 years on Tampa Bay, when the weather's snotty, there's been a lot of kingfish tournaments won between Egmont and the Skyway Bridge. Work that shipping channel. A lot of bait stacks up on those buoys.
Even inside.
Yeah, even inside, for sure.
Inside
no doubt.
Port Manatee area, G-Cut. That's
Yep.
the hot spot for those big kings
It's
when
deep,
it's weather's
deep
nasty.
and full of bait. The Skyway right now, when I got bait at the North Pier yesterday, and there was giant thread fins. I mean, it was a mishmash of all kinds of bait, which is usually a good sign for the kingfish.
A commercial boat offloaded yesterday at Don's Dock. They had 1,200 pounds of kingfish, and they were all caught inside Egmont.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. What would you be trolling?
Well, I mean, that, I really like a big cigar minnow is great. I mean, blue runners are phenomenal. Big thread fins, which should be pretty easy to get. You can get a big kingfish on one of those.
If you want a big king, I would troll some squid spoons behind a planer, catch some mackerel, and then once you have some mackerel, switch it up and slow troll those mackerel.
Kingfish rig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much.
Good luck, buddy.
Andy, let us know how you do, bud. Good luck. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's kingfish time for sure.
Yeah, it's kingfish time. I was actually a little, and luckily, because I thought the wind was going to be down yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of calling for it to be a little calmer. At least I was seeing some.
Yeah,
it's going to be a little better.
It was bumpier yesterday.
Yeah, it was a little bumpier than what it was supposed to be. So I was mad at myself in the morning because I had some good friends on the boat that I hadn't fished with in a while, and I'm like, God, dog it! I finally got the weather. I should have went kingfishing today, and then I poked my nose out there by Egmont to see how the snook and redfish bite was out there, and I was like, she's a little breezy. Had we gone king fishing, it would have been a little bumpies.
Pulling up the chart, windy and the wind finder forecast both had seas at about 2 foot at Egmont, and it ended up being more like 3 foot. So
I was there.
windy and wind finder were both about a foot off yesterday.
Yeah, I was there. She was a little bumpy. We did catch some fish, but she was a wee bit bumpy, which will happen, and it's going to be bumpy today too. Again, if you're headed out, I wouldn't hesitate to work that area.
It's still about a foot off, so it is rough.
Yeah,
out there. It got to 5.2 foot at Egmont at 3 a.m. It's calming down a little bit, but it's still over 4.5 foot.
Yeah, oof.
Nasty.
Bumpy. Yeah, Sun-Coast Kingfish Classic. It's all your fault. Every time there's
Kingfish tournaments make the weather bad.
It does. Redfish tournaments too, actually, but if they're fishing tournaments in general, but for some reason the Kingfish tournaments do it up. I saw the Pro Marine guys were at Old Salts.
Oh yeah, they always
talk.
are.
Such a I bet that was a good talk.
I saw Jim Nassett was doing a seminar. I was like, I bet that would be entertaining.
It's excellent. I've had him before. I've had him on the air before. He's so knowledgeable. Those guys are so good. That Pro Marine team is so good at what they do.
I love his boat.
Yeah, well.
That brand new front runner.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. He
Beautiful boat.
He loves it too.
Mm-hmm.
He loves it too. Our good friends at Pro Marine there. Phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352. Unfortunately, we're going to have to dive into gag groupas here on the other side. And
no pens.
I have my pen right here. I'm not going to put it in your neck. Find someone else.
Don't kill the messenger.
We can find somebody else to put it in their neck.
It's a little ugly.
We'll be back here talking fishing on the other side. 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WFLA Tampa, WXTV HD2 Clearwater. This is News Radio. WFLA 3. Never sounded so good.
Officials have released the names of the 3 people who died in the plane crash in Boca Raton yesterday. 81-year-old Robert Stark, 54-year-old Stephen Stark, and 17-year-old Brooke Stark were killed in the crash. Kurt Gibson with the NTSB says they'll be looking at the wreckage to find evidence for the cause.
There are avionics in the aircraft that might have saved some data, such as engine parameters, autopilot parameters, such like that. As long as they're in good enough shape, we can send them to our experts back at headquarters and they can get information off of it.
Fire rescue officials say the plane had mechanical issues when it crashed after only being in the air for around 10 minutes. One person in a car suffered a minor injury when his car was struck by burning debris. A man who was wandering a Lake Wales neighborhood, walking into homes and asking residents to shoot him, was shot by a Polk County deputy. The sheriff says deputies tried to calm the man down, but he continued to walk toward them with a knife in his hand, all while asking to be killed. Sheriff Judd says his deputy had no choice.
This man is dangerous. He presented himself as dangerous. And he asked to be shot. He demanded to be shot. And then he forced us to shoot him. So we obliged him.
Judd says the suspect had entered a total of 3 homes, encountering the residents before being confronted by deputies. He says the man has a history.
I'll lose my mind over that shit, dude.
Yeah. Mike getting back into fisheries management. That'd be funny.
I'll lose my shit. I did, but listen, it was a thought. It crept in.
Yeah. That's good. We're softening you up slowly. Well, you could sit right between Travis and I at an FWC meeting, and maybe between the both of us will stop you from
making an
stabbing someone in the neck.
That right. We'll go to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took the skiff out last night, out the river. It was like, damn, it's windy.
It's blowing. I'm going to get a little bit more coffee.
Load up, big fella.
Yes, sir.
I gotta get you a new hat.
Yeah, this thing's weathered. We have more in the shop.
Well,
I saw it the other day. There's like bleach spots on it.
yeah, but I just need to get you a new one. You don't use the ones you're selling.
I've weathered this one in. This isn't actually the bad one. I must have two, because the other one I have has a bunch of bleach spots underneath it.
I gotta get you a fresh one. I see them all the time. You wear them all the time, so I know you mix them up too with other hats, which is fine. I try to wear the Gator Gyms one at least. Yeah.
A couple times a week, but I lost my good Gator Gyms one. I need to get another one. They have a black camo Gator Gyms hat I saw someone wearing. I was like, where the heck is that one? They must sell that one like crazy.
They might.
Scott, it is definitely bad. He's asking about the sand inside the pass, and it's causing us a lot of problems. It's supposed to be dredged out, but I'm not holding my breath anymore about that. Nice. Bucky said he was fishing a spot and he had a bunch of rays around him, and he told the clients to, a lot of times there's cobia around the rays, and sure enough, here comes a ray with a big cobia behind it.
Nice.
And they hooked it, pulled the hook, went back to the ray and caught the cobia a second time, and pulled the hook a second time.
Oh.
Dang.
That's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Need a bigger hook.
By Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Rolling into hour number 2 here. Talking fishing. Phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Don't forget Tuesday night, if you're just joining us, the OCC Roadhouse Real Animals Fishing Conversation. We are kicking things off there with our good friend Keith Overton, the owner at OCC Roadhouse. Going to be there 7 to 9 p.m. Listen, it's tax day. You're going to need a break. You're going to need a burger. You're going to need a beer. You're going to need some killer chicken wings. You're going to want to talk fishing. I wouldn't want to think about anything.
I hope someone asks you a really long question so I can order chicken wings and eat some.
Oh, I'm going to get there early.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm going to get there a wee bit early so I can get some grub in my belly.
Oh,
no
chicken
doubt.
Wings. I love chicken wings.
Yeah, they have good chicken wings, too. Really good. And that's important.
OCC Roadhouse, 7 to 9 p.m. It's going to be a good time.
Yes, sir.
This Tuesday
night, 7 to 9 p.m. Again, Bull Bay Rods, Ingle Coolers, Real Animal Swag, Hubbard Swag. We'll have all kinds of goodies to give away, so we need to make sure we have our...
We got some fresh Ingle Coolers on the boat. Man, I love them things.
Dude, they're the best.
Yeah, we made the mistake of getting a cheap Walmart cooler when the last Ingle Cooler got removed. And, it lasted like a couple months.
Yeah, mistake.
Yeah, it's time to invest.
Yeah, mistake.
I mean, cheap coolers. You get what you pay for. Good
100%.
whiskey costs money.
100%.
And it's worth it.
Absolutely a fact.
Yeah, the first Ingle Cooler was there since we built the boat. So it's been there for 5 years. And the Walmart cooler lasted 6 months.
Yeah.
You don't save money buying cheaper coolers.
You don't save money buying cheap stuff normally, period.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but not very often. Like you said, good whiskey costs money, my father's favorite saying, and it's very, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the phones here. Let's talk to Tim at the Fisherman's Hut. Tim, how are you this morning?
Doing great, gentlemen. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing good, buddy.
You called us gentlemen. How nice of you.
I was only talking to Dylan.
well played.
Shots fired.
Well played, Tim. Well played.
Looking to seeing you guys over there at OCC. I've been doing some pompano jigging in the mornings. That's been taking off, and I just booked a 10-hour trip so I can get in some micro jigging.
Nice.
On hopefully some hogfish and maybe a couple red groupers. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, man, the lane snapper bite on that 10-hour has really taken off. The last 10-hour trip had 150 lanes, over 24 mangroves, a nice big keeper red grouper, a couple hogfish. It's been really good.
Jeez.
One spot had 12 keeper mangroves. It's nuts. And then, we're fishing 60, 70 foot of water, not very deep, on a party boat.
Nice.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good time.
Have you guys seen any sharks showing up at the pass or at the beaches?
Haven't seen any recently, but we did take that reel that you hooked us up with and broke it in on about a 10, 11-foot dusky. At least we think it was a dusky. It's hard to tell them sharks apart, but it was a big shark. So the big sharks are still around, and it should get only more and more sharky for sure.
Oh, it's going to get sharky. The tarpon were stacked. I heard the tarpon were stacked pretty big at the bridge.
We're seeing the tarpon along the beaches too.
Yeah, that means we're sharky.
Yeah, in the morning they're starting to pop on the bridge.
Yeah.
We have the snook back in the past too, so things are looking up. A lot of bait.
Yeah,
a lot of bait around the bridge.
Lots of bait, no doubt.
I wanted to ask Captain Mike if he had a favorite tarpon lure. His number one grab and go for tarpon.
Man, I'll tell you what. I am a huge mirror lure guy, as everyone knows, but that old DOA trolling lure that they had was the best.
The cow?
No, it's not a cow. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Billy and I did a show years ago with a captain from Boca Grande who has also passed away on us, Captain Phil Duggar. Billy, Phil Duggar, and myself, we did 17 tarpon in one morning.
Whoa.
We jumped them on this DOA, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. It'll come to me.
It'll be someone in the live stream will put it in the comments.
They'll know. Somebody will.
You don't have an address where I can get a couple out?
Yeah, Ray Markham said DOA trolling model bait buster.
Bait buster, thank you. That is it. That is it. Okay. The bait buster, and it had a green back, kind of a whitish, kind of white gray side to it, and it had a red underlip. That for some reason that thing was brutal. The one thing I'll tell you about that bait was, and we jumped 17 tarpon that morning on that bait, and we couldn't, the hook wasn't crazy sharp on it. It comes as one piece with the jig head and the hook and everything kind of all together. And you needed a rod with a little bit stiffer tip. The rods we were using at the time, I think they were Penn rods, if I'm not mistaken, and the tip was just a little too light to get good penetration. So that would be my one piece of advice. That bait, especially if they're on a thread fin feed, that bait around schools of thread fins where you're seeing tarpon works really, really, really well. Really well. I really like the MirrOlure Miradine Double XL. But because it's a treble hook bait with two sets of treble hooks on it, in that mouth, it's hard to keep that fish hooked to land him. You know what I'm saying? They get it stuck in there, and they end up rubbing that sandpaper mouth ends up rubbing your leader raw. So they'll pounce on that Miradine, but in my experience, getting a tarpon landed on that bait's a little tough.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you switching hooks at all?
No, and on that DOA one, you couldn't switch it. You could try that on the MirrOlure one. You could do that on the Miradine, but on the bait buster, when you see it, you'll see that you can't switch the hook out. Now, you can probably sharpen that hook a little bit, which may not hurt. It doesn't have, like I said, the sharpest hook that I've ever seen on it. It's going to penetrate. And like I said, we were getting the bites we just couldn't get, and you could tell that the tip on those tarpon rods from Penn, and this was way before my Bull Bay rods days, was just a little too light. And we just couldn't get good penetration. That's really important when you're tarpon fishing. You know, the other thing too, and I talk about this tarpon season at all, and you kind of lead me into this, Tim, is make sure now that tarpon season's coming. I see a lot of guys trying to gear up super light. That's not a great plan. The longer you have that tarpon on, the greater chance that tarpon's not going to live through the fight. You're not going to keep it. You're not taking it home. So you want to get it to the boat and get it released healthy and safely. We got and what else happens, like we've just talked about the sharks, the more tarpon you see, the more sharks are here. The longer you have that tarpon on, the greater chance you have of losing it to a shark. And that breaks my heart like nothing else. I've left feeding pods of tarpon and went away because I couldn't get one to the boat because the sharks were so bad. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not feeding the sharks tarpon. I'm not doing it. So you know what I mean?
couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So it's you got to go geared up. I know everybody's like, well, I'm fishing with it all day. I want it to be light. Well, that's great, but it doesn't have any backbone. You got to go to work on the tarpon and get them to the boat.
I got a question for you. I'm used to going up to South Carolina and targeting the tarpon up there, and they seem to be a whole different animal. We would, bust off with a 100-pound leader. They'd tail walk us all the way down to bridges and bust us off. They'd wrap our Cajun Thunder Magnum bobbers up and almost tie them in a knot against the pilings and stuff. What kind of leader and line test do you recommend?
Well, see,
pretty much whole rig.
Here I'm 50-pound. That 50-pound vicious braid, and I'm telling you, Mike Mahoney used to get the biggest braid he could get from vicious and use it for gator hunting. That vicious braid is super, super underrated, especially in the higher line classes. That 50-pound vicious is really, really quality stuff. The problem you run into with your leader here on the west coast of Florida is you have to look at your water quality. People forget that a tarpon's eyeball is almost 2 inches across.
Yeah, big eyes.
They can really see really well, so you have to be really careful. On the beach, when the water's super clean, I can drop down to a 50. I don't go any lighter than 50 because people hire me to catch them a tarpon, not jump them a tarpon. If you put 40 on, you'll probably get a few more bites, but you're probably not going to ever win that battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. And again, it goes to me wanting to put some heat on that fish, get them to the boat rather quickly, 15, 20 minutes, get that fight over with and get them released out.
But if that water's murky, you're using 80,
the water's murky,
100.
you could go to 60 or 80. I've never fished with 100. If it's murky enough that you can fish with 100, probably I'll bet you a Larry Mastry if the water's dirty on the beach. And he's, Larry Mastry was one of the greatest in the history of tarpon fishing at catching them on dead bait.
I got you.
He looked like an octopus out there. He had rods in every direction, and he'd have sometimes 3 or 4 fish on at a time. He's fishing dead shad on the bottom, sitting in these little cuts, these little highways that you find on the beach where the fish and if the water wasn't too clean, I'll bet you Larry Mastry would tell you could go to 100 and get away with it. And again, then you could put even more heat on them and close that deal even sooner.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the hooks are really important in that game too. Something I like the Mustad Ultra Point a lot. You need something that gets good penetration to close that deal.
Yeah. Tough mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, I might write down. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dylan, I got one question for you. I know they shortened our gag season down to 1 gag per person. I had somebody come in yesterday to the shop. I hooked him up with all kinds of jigs, and he said he was going to be fishing bait as well. Do you have a recommendation for the big keeper gags as far as bait goes and line and leader?
Big bait, big leader. You're fishing deeper water generally in September when gags are going to open. We know it's going to open September 1st. The closing date hasn't been announced yet, but it's not going to be very far from September 1st. We're expecting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. And big bait is definitely the key. I'd be fishing at least 100 for those gags. I mean, 80 is on the light side for a gag. If I got a big bait and then the bite's going well, I mean, even a 125-pound test, you match the hook to the size bait. So if you got a big bait, you're using a really big hook, 10, 12-aught hook. And I really like a big chunk of bonita strip. You can get away with some Boston mackerel, some of those different bigger baits, whether it's a bonita, Boston mackerel, cut mackerel, it doesn't matter. Mullet is another good one, finger mullet, or maybe half a black mullet. And you could also use really big live baits. Like a lot of guys that catch a lot of big gags will go out in the 5-hour half day before the 39-hour and catch a bunch of those nice white grunts and take them offshore alive. You can even use, like if you catch a porgy, something that's not regulated, you can butterfly that up and use a butterfly bait. So big bait, whether it's live or dead, and heavy tackle, and be ready to win that war, because it is a war.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I got you.
Great.
I got you.
Great
well,
call.
I just booked for some 39-hour trips. I'm going to go ahead and book some 5-hour trips before then, so I'll be stocked up.
There you go, brother.
Great call there, Tim. Fisherman's Hut, checking in. Good stuff, buddy. Really good stuff.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday. Mike, I got your package, and I'll be talking with you.
Appreciate you, brother. Well
See you
done.
guys.
Super stuff. Fisherman's Hut, get by there and check out Tim. He knows his stuff.
Yes, he
Good
does.
stuff. Thanks,
Good fish.
brother. Appreciate you. Great.
Have a good day, guys.
You too, buddy. That was fantastic. What a great call. Man, I'm up against the break, too. Doggone it. We got to go to break. We got Mike Mesra. We got Capt. Fitzgerald. Talking some 6a-8 Florida Star Tournament.
Loaded down.
Sporting clays. Woo. Life is good.
Yes, sir. And he let the cat out of the bag a little bit. 1 gag per person, so the bag limit is dropping for gags. And we'll explain the rationale behind that coming up, too.
Good stuff. Phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352. Again, Mike Mesra, Tampa Bay Sporting Clays, and the Hall of Famer Captain Lisa Fitzgerald, 6a-8 Florida Star Tournament Director, when we come back.
Starting Monday, with an escape for the weekend. Wipe out that bill, snag those tips.
Yeah, they're just more used to it over there.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, it's a win-win. They're checking it out. The Sunday show has been going crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a horrible feed with my phone.
Yeah.
It's horrible. But the numbers were good.
So I just put in the comments for you guys the full gag grouper update. It's on our YouTube channel. It's a pretty in-depth look at what's going on with those gag grouper. It's I think it's a little more than 7 minutes, and kind of break down the idea behind the gag grouper. So if we don't get to it fully on the radio show, you can watch that YouTube channel video on the Hubbard's Marina YouTube, and it'll kind of break down more fully what's going on with the gag grouper. But we should be able to have some time to talk about it on the radio here, but I doubt we'll have a full 7 minutes to go super in depth. Also, Captain Ed Walker is a Gulf Council member, and he put a big post on his Facebook page kind of going in depth about the gag grouper too. So you can watch the video. If you want more information, check out Captain Ed Walker's post on Facebook as well.
Woo! God, that Tim guy is really interesting.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, man.
He was a good guest.
I'll bet. Dude, his questions. Great questions. Yeah, we gotta keep him integrated. We gotta get like Fisherman's Hut. Where's Fisherman's Hut?
Bradenton.
We gotta get that guy integrated somehow. I really like his calls. That's really good stuff.
You'll see him Tuesday. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to meeting him. I need to get him. Are they open on Sundays?
I believe so.
We need to get him calling on Sundays too. Oh, man. So I had more going on here than I thought. A white grunt's the same as silver snapper.
It's gray snapper, white grunt, Key West grunt. I've heard him called Royal Majestic Snapper. That's what Captain Steve Pappin and his other captain, Mike Hollingsworth, call him, Royal Majestic Snapper.
Royal Majestic Snapper. Pappin's a piece of work.
Yeah, he is.
Old Pap's a piece of work. Talented guy. Rays won yesterday and the Lightning lost. Here we go. Welcome back. Again, shingle, metal, tile, flat roofs, repairs, replacements. Nobody does it better. We've been telling you now for a couple years, affordable roofing system. Safest choice for repairs or replacements. It doesn't matter. Give them a call today. Get ahead of this thing. I mean, it's mid-April now. We're going to be rolling into
Want to have it done before hurricane season.
Scary season here. The way they've been the last couple of years, you don't want to be waiting around. You want to find the right roofing company, the same company that did Dylan's roof. They did Captain Big Ben Marshall's roof. They came and did a repair on mine after the last hurricane. Absolutely the best in the business. I love these guys. David Torres and his family have been on my boat. They're great family people. Call 1-888-397-ROOF. Get your free estimate. Visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Let's check in with the man, the myth, the legend, the great Mike Mesra, Tampa Bay Sporting Clays. How are you, brother?
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up, buddy?
What a great caller that last guy.
Yeah, Tim was great, wasn't he? Fantastic.
I was thinking the same thing, but on the other side, you guys are like a wealth of knowledge too. I mean, Mike, you were going at it with everything. I mean, both you guys don't.
I want our listeners to know that I absolutely love that stuff. Like it's okay to call in. Like there's no dumb questions. Like every single angler's been there. Dylan was there when he was young. I was there when I first got here, learning the fishery, popping corks, all the stuff that, in my brain seemed like a no-brainer. There's people out there that want to learn, that are listening, that are afraid to call and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask the question.
Don't be afraid to call in.
Yeah, there's no dumb questions. There really isn't. I mean, Capt Mel Berman did it forever. Yeah, don't be afraid.
I always say there's no dumb questions. It's only dumb not to ask.
Right, for sure.
Right, exactly. It's better to do it that way. But just, you guys have learned over the years, and you guys are paying it forward. And I mean, Dylan, everything that you've done, and to just get the whole fishery and all the rules and regs and all the back. I mean, people don't have a clue how hard you work for this.
The amount of time he puts in.
Nobody knows. You talk about it, you go this, but all the traveling and all the research and all the knowledge that you get, gathered over the years is
a lot of questions.
It's priceless.
That's what it is. A lot of questions. There's people smarter than me.
It's a lot of time too. Right. It's a lot of time away from his young, beautiful family too. So. That's a lot of energy that he puts into our fishery. God bless him.
Yeah, my wife's the same.
Well, thank you guys for everything you do. Mike, great job again on the Children's Home Shoot. I know I talked to a couple people that also did your tournament as well. I talked to some guys down the Keys last night. I guess they're having a tough time in a couple tournaments down there fishing. I fished home with Sessa last week, and we went out with Stump, Jonathan Hamilton, and did a shore lunch after. Literally, that fishery up there is unbelievable. We fished for an hour and a half, caught tons of trout. Tides weren't right for the Reds. Came in, fished. I mean, it was just it's like a perfect day.
Shore lunch is spectacular.
You had Mike at lunch.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah, you had me at lunch.
Of course I did. Anyway, hey, we've got a couple things. Got the fair event today at Tampa Bay Sporting Clays, Sertoma shoot, also the F1 shoot, F Troop shoot. All for Charities is going on today. And then quick shout out to my Tampa Bay 100 Ducks Unlimited is April 24th. Hopefully I see Lisa there at that. Lisa, good morning. I know you're on next. And everybody, you guys just keep up the great work, and thank you for everything. I know you got a lot of callers, so thank you guys for everything, all right?
Appreciate you, buddy. MyTBSC.com. Check it out. Thanks, Michael. He is Absolutely a great guy, great place. They got 8 courses out there now. There's like 8 courses. Like it's
wild.
Last time Beth and I were out there, and I had shot a couple times already, and still I was amazed at the amount of stuff I had got to go shoot that I hadn't seen yet. It's just never ends out there with that guy.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
Wild.
Yeah,
he can be having a big event, big charity event, and you can still go out there as a general public and have plenty of courses to shoot.
Dude, they can have like 200 shooters at an event, and it doesn't affect it at all. Like you can get completely on the other side of the course, away from the whole. You know, I
wonder how many people they could have going through the course.
Know.
That'd be an interesting question.
I will tell you this, and it was funny because Beth was. She was looking for Mez when we came off the course because he's like, oh, I'd go shoot red and black. And so we did. And then as they're coming out, you're looking at your show pair, you know, to see what the clays are doing. And she's like, she was saying bad things about Mez. She was like, oh, yeah, Mez, let's go shoot those.
He sent you down the advanced course, huh?
Well, I don't think it was crazy advanced, but it was more advanced than Beth and I are for sure. So she was not happy with Mez. But, so there's some stuff there that's challenging, which
I'd
is
be
good.
scared if I was him.
That's what you
don't want Beth mad at you.
No, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. We got our good friend Captain Lisa Fitzgerald here up on the other side, headed into our last big segment of the morning. She is 6a-8 Florida Star Tournament Director and a Hall of Famer. You don't want to miss it. Keep it tuned right here to 970 WFLA. We'll be back.
From the local Lexus dealers, WFLA News Desk. This is News Radio WFLA.
Officials have released the names of the 3 people killed in the plane crash in Boca Raton. 81-year-old Robert Stark, 54-year-old Stephen Stark, and 17-year-old Brooke Stark died in the crash. An eyewitness describes what he saw.
And then the plane came in front of my windshield and just exploded. It was just unbelievable that the plane blew up like that.
The investigation is ongoing. The driver of a fire truck that collided with a Brightline train has been fired. Delray Beach city manager says David Wyatt has been terminated. Footage from the train shows Wyatt drive a fire truck into the path of the train. The collision resulted in several injuries. A Polk County assistant principal has been arrested. Authorities say 53-year-old Dr. Kiva Lark of Lake Marion Creek Middle School in Poinciana made a student rub her feet while making inappropriate comments. She was charged with lewd offense against the student by an authority figure. Lark is on administrative leave pending the investigation. With Florida's News, I'm Tim Adkins.
Visit your local Lexus dealer or go to Lexus.com to find the dealer nearest you.
Traffic is still looking good around the Tampa area roadways as we get further into the morning. 275, 75, and I-4 all move up to speed throughout the Bay Area at this time. This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, plus free UPS shipping. Add the code radio and get an extra 5% off. Carlson News Radio, WFLA.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Your Max Defender 8 forecast is cool, crisp, and breezy this morning. Temperatures starting in the 50s and 60s and only warming into the low 70s by the middle of the day. Under mostly sunny skies will climb into the mid-70s for a mild afternoon. There are no chances for showers. Expect a rapid drop in temperatures this evening as the coolest air from this cold snap heads in, and we'll see temperatures diving down into the 50s overnight. And as we head into Sunday morning, that makes for a pretty cool start. But Sunday's a little milder. We do make it into the upper 70s under mostly sunny skies. I'm Max Defender 8 meteorologist Rebecca Berry.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Hey, Steve. Here's a really important question that came in from one of our radio listeners. Here's a question. Some advisors talk about income for life. How does that work, and is that a really good idea?
Yeah, that's a good question, Elizabeth, because it's really not what it seems. Income to us is when, let's say a client has $500,000 and they want true income. So to
fixed and variable annuities. You know, Steve, most companies
in today's interest rate environment, you cannot lock in at 6% for the rest of your life. But there are companies offering this rate and even higher rates in some cases. So it looks pretty darn attractive, even if there's a fee involved. Now, the second reason is, and this is where that term comes in, income for life, the companies that issue this type of investment or insurance product, they will guarantee if you live a long life.
Like your mom, Steve, who's going to be 97 years old this year. Awesome.
Yeah, that's right. So if you live a long life, the insurance carrier is under contract to continue to pay you your income for as long as you live. You cannot outlive your income.
Right. So investors who need income, this could be a great option. And the best thing to do really is to get more information on this at no cost. Call us for a complimentary consultation.
Very well said, Elizabeth. Yeah, that's right. Call us right now at 727-228-6449. Call the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors since 1993. 727-228-6449.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refund. Code Clay. Terms apply.
For over 20 years, Ace Heating and Cooling has been the name you can trust in the heating and air conditioning business in Hillsborough County. Chris Myers and his guys service all brands, and they do residential and commercial repairs, maintenance, and full replacements. They send out technicians, not salesmen, because they build that long-lasting customer relationship that will hold up over time. Call 813-657-8818 or look them up online at brandonac.net and find out for yourself why Ace Heating and Cooling is the easy choice for the Real Animals fishing team.
This is the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Segment. Remember, Tuesday night, OCC Roadhouse, 7 to 9 p.m. This Tuesday, tax day. It's going to be miserable. Sending out that check, all the pain. Get yourself hooked up with an ice-cold beer, some chicken wings, a burger. Let's talk some fishing at OCC Roadhouse. Tuesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Come on out and join us. Ingle Coolers, Bull Bay Rods, Real Animal Swag, Hubbard's Marina Swag, all kinds of goodies. Come on out and see us. We'd love to have you guys there. Let's go to the phones here. As promised, she's been waiting patiently, probably going to get scolded here for leaving her on hold so long. Our good friend and Hall of Famer, Captain Lisa Fitzgerald. How are you, my friend?
Welcome. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
No, you would never get scolded. Good morning, Dylan. Never be scolded. Not in public. You know, praise in public.
There it
criticize
is.
in private. There we go.
Appreciate that.
Wish more people understood that. Brock. Anyway.
That's great.
Anyway, let's move on. We have just a great competition coming up this summer. I'm so excited. We've changed a few little things and added some things so that more people can have an opportunity to win. If you register right now before April the 30th, we're going to give you 2 entries into something called our triple header raffle. That is, we are going to give away 3 boats. We are giving away a deck cat, we are giving away a spider, and we're giving away a Carolina skiff. Nice. In September. And if you register for the Star competition, you get 3 entries into that. All 3 boats are being awarded. And that's a $100 value for registering for the Star competition, which is only $80. And, you know, I'm not good at math, but I'm pretty good at this one. I think that's a pretty good savings.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got 100 days of fishing, our tagged redfish division. We're getting our tagged fish out. Everybody should know about that. The cool thing about that is we have some awesome boats. We have a Carolina skiff 24E, the big barge, that beautiful boat. We have 2 of those to give away. We have a Seabourn center console 22. We have a Spider Vapor skiff, and we have a micro draft skiff. So there are some really cool boats. The kids are going to get some cool boats. They're going to get a Carolina skiff, 16 JVS tiller, and then the piece de resistance is a new division. Yes, I know. I had too much coffee this morning, waiting on you guys to take me off. Oh, no, I'm kidding.
There was the scolding.
Yeah, there was.
In the most kind way.
Absolutely.
We are having a new division called the Lots of Spots division by Drum Spots.
Nice.
If you catch a tagged redfish that has more than 1 spot, enter it, take a picture of both sides, put in the number of spots, And at the end of the competition, the angler who submits the fish with the most spots is going to win a SUP Customs hybrid skiff. You know those cool skiffs, those live water sports boards that have the Yamaha motor. They have a trolling motor on them. They have a power pole micro. Get you skinny, enter it in the competition for your shot at winning 6 different places. The first place prize is that SUP Customs hybrid skiff. So it's really cool. And you guys were just talking about offshore and big grouper.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's going to be challenging with the seasons that we're going to be given and the days are going to be given. But if you catch a big grouper, you can take a picture of it. Any grouper that's legal, take a picture of it, submit it in the Angle Coolers Offshore Division presented by APCO, and you can win a brand new 250 Yamaha motor.
Whoa.
Nice.
That's a solid win.
That's a solid win. Anytime you're powered by Yamaha, it's a win.
Your offshore fishing can still be really rewarding. Even though you might not be able to keep dinner, you can still win some great prizes. It's any offshore species can be entered in the offshore division, and there's $60,000 in prizes in the offshore division alone.
Wow.
That's awesome. It's the biggest no-brainer for summer, really.
Fishing insurance. I like how you say that.
Fishing insurance, yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer, dude. You got to be in the CCA Florida Star Tournament. That's what I say.
Too
many great prizes.
Inshore, there's also $60,000. It's the custom GNU. So first place prize in the inshore division is a custom GNU LT25 with a 25 horsepower Yamaha on it, trolling motor on the bow. That's a sweet, sweet, slick ride, I'm telling you. I have one. They're very, very cool. So there's great opportunities. I know, Mike, you have your event, your youth scholarship program coming up. Our youth scholarship program in Star awards $100,000 annually. So there's so many ways to win. And I do want to let your female listeners know there is a really cool tournament coming up May 31st. Mike Mesra, thank you for the shout out, mentioned Stump up in Homosassa. Well, this tournament is in Homosassa. It's a ladies tournament. It's the Florida Cracker Ladies Tournament. We have it every year. There's over 150 women that fish this tournament.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's a huge tournament. It's all ladies. Your captain can be male, but the ladies have to do everything. You have to cast. You have to net your own fish. It's really, really fun. Lots of great prizes, just so many cool things happening with that. And all the proceeds go to our youth scholarship division. So
that's awesome.
It's really a fun time.
Love it. Tell everybody real quick how they can get signed up for Star.
So you can give us a call at 844-387-7827. That's 844-387-7827. And don't forget, you have to pick up your new Star identifier. You don't have to put the fish on a ruler that we give you. You can put it on your own ruler. You just have to have an identifier in the picture to keep everybody on the straight and narrow, making sure it's this year's fish.
Love it. Also, Lisa and I did some releasing of some tagged fish in Pinellas County with our good friend Captain Jim.
I'll get with you after the show for locations.
I'm sworn to secrecy. Can't tell you, but they are there.
We were
watched
friends.
them. I watched them be released with my own eyes. Watched them get tagged into the water. They go.
Wow.
There's your chance at.
We know an insider, guys.
We do. I'm an insider.
I'm gonna have to tell Mahoney about this.
Mike,
sworn to secrecy.
I tell everybody there's on average 4 per coastal county, but Citrus County has 8, and Charlotte County has 8, and the easiest way to know and be prepared to be out on the water is just to go by West Marine, go by any bait and tackle shop and pick up that identifier so you have it on the boat when the happiness starts. Or if you're not registered and a CCA member before you hook that fish, sad fish tails.
Shame on you.
Sad fish tails.
Yep.
I like it.
I'm going to come to your house, knock on the door, and I might have to slap you. Come on now. What are you thinking?
Oh, no, we'll ask them to be on social media and make a movie star out of them.
Yes. What are you thinking?
Don't
What are you
be like
thinking?
this guy.
Yeah, don't be this person. Heartbroken.
Yes.
Yes, the
Well,
keys
I
to the
thank you
boat
very
right
much.
there. Thank you. Good
And
call, my friend.
Dylan, I hope to talk to you soon because Mike Messer is right. You are a wealth of knowledge. And, who would not be smart to get to the person who knows the most about a subject than myself to talk to you? So I hope we have an opportunity. And I can only tell you that everything I'm so encouraged, not so much by our regulations, but by everything else that I'm seeing that's going on in our local waters and things that are happening. Just can't wait to see what the future brings for us through so many efforts, concerted efforts by so many different organizations.
Amen.
And just something out to your listeners. I'm not asking you all to become CCA members, but become members of something that does good works for our environment. Because if we don't, we're going to be sitting on our front porch looking at someone else's back door and not have good waters, not have good land, and it will be a sad day for all of our critters on this planet.
Preach it, sister. Appreciate you. Well said.
All
Well
right.
said. Hall of Famer.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
You guys have a great day and enjoy your Saturday.
Tell Lo we said hello.
I will.
All right.
You guys take care.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Great people right there. Her and
the Hall of Famer.
Yep. Her and
There's
a
a
guy,
reason.
Lo Morrison. Good people. Really good people. So let's get our visit St. Pete Clearwater.
I was getting worried.
Safe boating tip of the week
like, is
here.
he
No,
okay?
he's here.
Captain
He's
Jim
here. He's here.
in the house.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna put it out there too. Listen, just so everybody knows, Jim Fogel and his lovely bride. And if you think Jim's lovely, his wife Ruth is
Peach.
Fantastic.
Yeah, way better.
Fantastic. She's like peaches and cream. Jim's a
We're
peach.
all
She's
out
peaches
kicking our
and cream.
coverage around
Yeah,
here.
fantastic lady. Well, they are donating some CCA memberships to the junior pro staffers for the Real Animals Junior Pro Staff. So
that's awesome.
Really cool. Jim's idea just came. Him and Ruth were just sitting around thinking of something to do, so they donated a large amount of these memberships for CCA for the junior.
Well, I think
pro
it's a
staff.
great cause, and you guys are always pushing it. And I think, like you said before, the NRA can have a zillion members. We ought to have a zillion members.
I agree, brother.
Really
well
should.
done. Just hats off to you and Ruth for coming up with that idea. We appreciate your support big time.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. I'll do a quickie here. Apologize for sleeping in this morning.
No.
I want to talk about autopilots for a
You
minute.
and Dylan both.
I was just about to say it's going around.
Leaving the wheelhouse unattended is imprudent, especially when navigating areas with congested traffic, like Paso Grill Channel, Skyway Channel, even in Tampa Bay.
Even
You
offshore.
don't need- Well, yeah, I'm getting to that. Yeah, but it's much worse inside than outside. But outside, we've had several, if not a bunch, of accidents offshore because guys are setting their autopilot and then they're going to fix a sandwich or not pay attention or take a nap or relieve themselves or something. And we're having accidents. Never, ever, for any reason, should you leave the helm when the boat is moving or when it's on, and certainly does not let you, not pay attention. It doesn't relieve you of that responsibility to keep a proper watch and to run your boat and to take care of your boat and your people. So please use it cautiously, pay attention. If you've got the auto helm set and you've got somebody on your boat you trust, and you need to leave the helm, okay, put them behind the wheel, but they've got to understand what's going on. And, of course, if they're in a boat that's less than 26 feet, they've got to have their dead man switch attached, just like the captain.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
so
sir.
Please, let's keep that in mind.
Great stuff, Cap.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.
the time. For the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete, Jim Fogel, be safe out there.
Thank you, brother. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Good stuff right there. Always good stuff. That's brought to you by our good friends at Visit St. Pete Clearwater. If you haven't been over there to check out the Beautiful beaches. We were just there last weekend at St. Pete Beach.
Gorgeous.
Fantastic.
Great
Considering what they've gone through in just the last 6-8 months.
Been a rough run, man.
Yeah. Considering what's happened to our beaches, St. Pete Beach, Clearwater Beach.
Speaking of that
area, it's unbelievable how beautiful it is.
There was a guy who actually stayed the night in Johns Pass, the night of Helene, and I've been chasing him down forever, and I finally got the footage. So I have actual footage the night of Helene inside Johns Pass, and we recovered it all. We're putting together like a 6-month anniversary video. It's going to be pretty wild.
Wow.
Dude, the footage is asinine.
Really?
It's nuts, man. I thought it was bad. This footage, I mean, crazy. And it's 2 hours before peak because he got scared for his life. He was in the parking garage and the actual structure, the cement structure was shaking. So he ended up evacuating himself too. But
gotta go.
Yeah, craziness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Things up this morning. If you want to get in, you might get in. 1-800-969-9352. Otherwise, me, D Hubs, and Jason Behringer, we'll just wrap this bad boy up. We'll be back.
Listening on the free iHeartRadio app. Thanks to Farrah and Farrah.
Mm-hmm. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Morning, Chris. Morning, Andy, Lauren. The 39-hour just texted me. They're limited out on mangrove snapper, pretty much, for the boat. That is a good day. It's going to be a good day, Tater. That's going to be a good pile of fish. If they're limited out on mangroves already, if they have a good daytime bite, it's going to be a stellar pile of fish Sunday morning.
There it is. New spot. They loved it. I sent it to Carmen.
Oh, really?
She loved it.
Good. And
yeah, they loved it. I sent it to her. I thought, okay.
crazy, crazy stuff.
Yeah. Tell your dad I said hello.
He's watching.
Oh, is he?
He can hear you.
He can hear you. Hey, Dad. We did a lot of shows together, him and I.
Mm-hmm.
Good dude. Good dude. He's got to be kind of blown away now that you're part of it, huh?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure he did shows with Mel, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's from that radio era, you know, he grew up like me.
Well, I grew up listening to him call in every Saturday morning.
Yeah, we heard him forever. Now you're the host.
He said hello.
Such a good dude.
Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Wrapping things up here. Power Pucks, PWRPUX.com. You got to check this thing out. World's first power-supplied trolling motor quick release bracket. I actually had to get some stuff done to the bow of my boat this week. Had to take it off. Had to disconnect the trolling motor, get it out of there. That Power Pucks is the way to go. So simple, so smooth,
Easy
no
peasy.
corrosion. First class, PWRPUX.com. Check them out today. You want to give us a little insight into the grouper stuff while we got a minute or two here?
Yeah, so the two things we didn't get to cover, we talked earlier about the good news from the council meeting that red grouper season this year is probably going to be saved. We're probably going to get rid of that 20-fathom closure. The lane snapper rule went final. The bad news from the council meeting was twofold. At least in the near future, there's some other bad news coming, but that's 2026 and beyond. So the Amberjack season that occurred in 2024 was September and October. They are claiming, the federal MRIP FES data is claiming that over 800,000 pounds, like 850,000 pounds of Amberjack was caught. It's 250% above where it was supposed to be. Our annual catch target was 250% exceeded.
No way.
And that's preliminary data, so it could be massaged and changed. They are looking at it. And I asked, and the council agreed to ask NOAA Office of Science and Technology to provide an in-depth report at the June council meeting. So they're going to pick that data apart around the council table, which will hopefully be good. And hopefully they'll have some changes, because if we're 250% over in preliminary data and that number isn't changed, there's no Amberjack season this year.
Ever.
Right? So there is an accountability measure. When you go over, you have to pay it back. So if we're 250% over, we have to pay back 150%. That means no season this year. That means a limited season in 2026. So not good. Hopefully that'll change, and it's still early, so we'll know more in June. Right now, NOAA is really focused on getting the federal for-hire red snapper season and red grouper season and red grouper emergency rule in place. After they finish that, come like May, June, they're going to start focusing on amberjack and gag grouper. So the June meeting will know more on both of those species. As far as gag grouper is concerned, they did pass an emergency rule at this council meeting to change the bag limit of grouper from 2 fish to 1 fish. Now, the caveat to that is many people are like, oh, they did that so we could get a couple extra days to give charter captains a longer season. Someone posted that. Oh, charter captains asked to do this so they could get a few more days to sell more trips. And that's false. The reason they did this is they are actually going to forecast the season and project the season based on 2 fish. So switching from 2 fish to 1 fish, you would get a few more extra season days. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to give us the season based on 2 fish and then also cut it to 1 fish. And the reason behind that is the council is trying to add a buffer because of this overage. We had a 6-month gag season, then it went to 3 months, then it went to 19 days, then it went to 15 days. And this year we're looking at 6, 7, 8, 9 days. And it should be like 30 days this year. The quota is getting bigger. The fishery is getting healthier. We're supposed to have longer seasons. We're supposed to have more quota, but we can't realize that because we keep overfishing. And the reason we're overfishing is they tell us, hey, you can fish this many days. We go out there and we fish and we catch a bunch because the fishery is healthier. So the idea behind this is it's kind of backwards. It's hard to understand. It's super frustrating, but there is a intention here to prevent an overage so we have more season next year. If it works, if there's no overage this year, next year we're going to be looking at 30, 35, 40 days. And a gag grouper assessment is spinning up, which should hopefully get us even more days.
Try to creep it in the right direction.
Yeah. So those are the two negative things.
It's a lot of work you do, my friend.
But
I really
in-depth updates on the Hubbard's Marina YouTube channel. So if you want longer dive, look up Hubbard's Marina on YouTube. Check out those new videos.
Putting a shout out to Jason Behringer. Thank you, my friend, for keeping us rolling here this morning. Great work as always, engineer extraordinaire. Don't forget, Tuesday night, 7 to 9 p.m., we're at OCC Roadhouse. Come see us. Going to be a good time. Real Animals Fishing Conversation, myself and B Hubs.
It's going to be a great time. And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Tune in tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. for an in-depth dive into all things council meeting this past week and more.
And don't forget, tomorrow morning, the T.M. Mahoney Company Real Animals Radio Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. Myself, the legend, Mike Mahoney, and Captain Mike Rogal. Going to be talking inshore, nearshore, offshore fishing. Questions, comments, fishing reports, you can bring them there as well. Love to have you guys. Want to thank everybody that joined us on the live feed. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate everyone that called. Listen, breezy today. Breezy today. Be safe out there. Be smart. Tight lines, everybody. Have a great week. We're out. See you.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing. W265CT Bayonet 1, W233
Always a pleasure. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and hanging out with us. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning for the Real Animals Sunday show. Tomorrow night for the live show, you get a chance to win $1,500 in free trips. Plus, we're going to talk to you all about all the stuff that happened in the council meeting, do an in-depth look. Check out Hubbard's Marina on YouTube for even more videos and updates. And hopefully we'll see you Tuesday night at 7.
We better. You better be
Better. That was a veiled threat for those unaware.
It was very veiled.
See you guys.